Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So today we'll be having another free online lessons, and our topic today will be on Revit Family. Before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hakim Mohsin, and I'm the BIM specialist for acadsystems. So I hope you can hear me well and you can see my screen right now. Okay. So yeah, thank you for joining me. And for today's topic, we will look into Revit families. Okay, so probably if you are not familiar with Revit family, actually, when you open up Revit, you can see that there is like two divisions of family type, file types. Okay, first is the models. The model will be the main project environment where we do all our projects. Okay, and then we also have families. Basically, families are like components that makes up our project environment. Okay, all right. Welcome everyone. Okay, so here, everything in Revit is part of family. Even though you didn't realize this, or you're just a light user, you definitely have came across this Revit family, or even you are using it without realizing that it is actually a Revit family. Okay, so Revit families topic is a big topic, but we will look into the basics of it. So I can say that this Revit family, we can divide it into three categories. So there is a system family, and then component or loadable family, and also in-place family. Okay, so there are three types of Revit families. For the system family are predefined families that you can't edit. I say you can't edit, but actually there are some edits that you can do. I will show this in depth later when we open up Revit. Okay. So some of the example of system family would be like wall, floors, ceiling, stairs. So these are predefined family that you have in your Revit. Okay, and then the second type is component or loadable family. Okay, so these are types of family that you create outside of the project environment. For example, like chairs, tables, and then you bring it into your project environment. You load it into your project environment, then use it as part of your project. Okay, and then you also have in-place family that you would create directly in your project environment. Okay, so I will open up Revit and we'll look into these three types of family. Okay, I have my Revit open here. Okay, first, we're going to look into the system family, and I'll be using wall as our example. Okay, so if I click on this wall, you can see in the properties here, it shows you the properties of this wall. Okay, so you can edit on this family using this edit type. Okay, unlike loadable family that I will show later, when you want to edit, you can edit the geometry and it will bring you to the family file itself. Okay, so for system family, you'll be editing from the edit type. That's why some people refer it as you can't edit that family. Okay, so if you want to really edit or create this family, you are limited to duplicating it, and it's a different work process than loadable family. Okay, so let's say I want to create another wall. So most likely I will be referencing from a wall, an existing wall, and duplicating it. Okay, so I take this wall. This wall is a basic wall, exterior, 12 inches masonry. So I go to edit type. Let's say I want to create my own type of wall. So I'll be duplicating it first. Then I give it a name. So I'll just give it like a test wall. Then I click on OK. Because if I directly put the edits, I'll be overwriting the existing wall. Okay, so you need to duplicate it first to create a new type. Okay, you can click on preview. Okay, usually it gives you like this. You can click on preview to look at the structure of the wall. Okay, and then at the structure here, you go to edit. And then let's say you have another layer on that wall. So you can just click on insert here, right? And then give it a material if you like. So for this, I'll just put I'll just look for default. Okay. Okay, this can be anything, gypsum board or insulation layer and whatever type material that is available. And then you can specify the thickness. So let's say here I put in 30. Okay, and then you can see the preview. I have a 30 mm structure on this wall. Okay, so because of this placement is on top of the structure 1, it will be created at the exterior of the wall. You can see here it specifies exterior side, and down here is the interior side. So let's say if you want to put this layer in the interior side, so you can just bring it down. Okay, and then you look at the preview. Now the layer is at the interior side. Okay, so this is how you create a system family. You're basically editing the system family. Okay, so these are walls. So before we go to loadable family, we'll also like to show you the other types of wall that comes with Revit. Okay, so you just go to wall in the architecture tab, and then you can bring it down. Okay, so let's say I will put in this exterior brick wall, and then let's look into its structure. Okay, click on edit. Okay, so this is the preview, and if I go to edit structure here, so they have a lot of layers that have been set to this wall. Okay, there's 9 layers of it. So this is what we call system family. You edit it from this edit type. Okay, now we're going to look at loadable families. Okay, for loadable families, you have to go to new and then click on family. Okay, from here, it will bring you to the family template. Okay, the family template. So there are a lot of templates because there are a lot of types of categories, so you can call categories of family. But for today's purpose, I will choose the metric generic model. Okay, so just click on it and open. Okay, when I open it, it will bring us to a separate file, which we call, this is a family environment. Okay, if you look at the tabs and ribbons up here, it's not exactly the same as the project environment. Okay, so once we save this file, the extension will be .rfa instead of the project .rvt. Right. So just let's go back to our PowerPoint here for a while. So for loadable families, there are few key features to it. So first, you need to select the template, and then we have reference plane, and then creating the geometry, and then placing parameters. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm back at my Revit. Okay, it will bring us to the reference level. So reference level is like the floor plan view, the top view. So I'll be creating a box just for you to understand how does it work. And I will put in parameters, and I will load into the project environment. And then you can see how I apply changes to that parameters and how the model responds to it. Okay, so first, I will create a reference plane. Let's click on the reference plane. I'll make one at the top, one at the bottom, and then another two on each side. Okay, so on this reference plane, you can give it a name if you like. Okay, just click on it and then click to name. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I would like to put in the dimensions. So I click on the measure here. So I click on the first reference plane, click here and here. Okay. So you can see this EQ, which means equal. Now it's slash with a red slash, means it's not equal. So you just click on it to make it equal. So this side and this side will always be equal. Okay. I'll do the same thing on this side. First, I dimension it, and then I click on equal. Okay, now I want to set parameters to it. So you can actually draw the geometry first or add in the parameters. So these two you can do, depends on your preference. Like myself would like to put the parameters first in this case. So again, I click on the measure on this reference plane to this reference plane. Okay, so this dimension, I will change it to, okay, I will not change it first. Click on it and then click on create parameter here. Okay, it will bring you to this window and you need to name the parameter. Okay, so first I will name this width. Okay, and then change it to instance because we want to edit it later. Okay, just click OK. And now you will see the label becomes width 2629. We will be able to change this later. Okay, and then the same thing on this side, okay, I make a dimension first, then click on it, then create parameter. Okay, so for this one, I will put in length, make it an instance, and OK. So there we have width and length parameters. Okay, so to edit it, you can go to family types here, and then you can see these dimensions, length and width. So from here, you can change it. So I'll make the length to 2000. But just bear in mind, this is the default length. You'll be able to change it later in your project environment as well. And then for the width, I will also put in 2000. Click on apply and OK. So as you can see, it corresponds to the model. Okay, now we have set in the parameters. Now we want to create the geometry. So I go to the create tab, extrusion, and then just draw a simple box. And I need to lock this side to its respective reference plane. So just click on this lock. And then click finish edit mode. Okay, so we are in the top view. Let's go to the front view. Okay, in the front view, I would like to add another reference plane for the height. So I go to create reference plane, then draw the reference plane. Then I go to measure, give it a dimension, and then click on the dimension, create parameter, and name this to height. Instance, okay. Okay, so this is our extrusion that we created just now. Okay, so by default, it gives you a 250 depth. Okay, so I would like to snap it to our reference plane. So I bring it up using this arrow and then just click on the lock. Okay, so I go back in the family types. Now we have height parameter, and I'll be able to change this number to 500. Click on apply and OK. Okay, now it's 500. So basically we are done with our box here. So I'm going to load into project. I have a project open here. So just load into project. And I'll place it here. Okay, see, this is the box that we created just now. So I've set in the parameters. So this is a parametric family. You can click on the box and you will see the dimensions in the properties panel. So from here, you can adjust the height to your liking. So let's say the height is 500 by default. I can change it to 5,000. And this model will correspond to whatever we input in the height, length, and width. So you can play around with this. Yeah. So that is loadable family. So usually things like chairs, tables, and I would say most of the components that makes up the project are loadable families. Okay, The last type would be the in-place models. So for in-place models, you create it directly in your project environment. So yeah, I'm in this project environment. As you can see, it's 100 sandbox.rvt. It's not .rfa. Okay, so you can go to component. Component exists in architecture tab, structure, and also systems. So you can choose either one, component, and then there will be, at the drop down, there will be a model in place. So just click on it. Then this window will pop up. You have to specify what kind of model that you are creating, what category of the model. So you can choose from the list. Okay, but for today, I'll just specify a generic model. So I click on generic model, click on OK. You can give it a name. And then you can directly draw the geometry of that model. So you can use extrusion, blend, revolve, sweep, swept blend. So I would say you use model in place family for very specific items of that project that you probably won't use it in the future. Okay, so if you want to keep using that family, it's advisable to create it in as a loadable family, because you can save that specific file and then reuse it over and over again. Okay, so these are, I would say, for in-place family, it's more to a simple object that is specific to that project that you're doing. Okay, with no intention of reusing it in future. Okay, maybe it can be a very simple chair. You just want to put in as a representation of it. Okay, you can use this. So for extrusion, you can just draw the outline first. Click OK. Then you can play around with the height. There is extrusion start and end here. Okay, so that is extrusion. And for blend, you have to create the bottom and top, and that will kind of like combine it together and creates a geometry. So let's say I draw a circle, and then I go to edit top, and I draw a polygon, click on finish. It will blend these two shapes. And for revolve, you first have to draw a boundary line. Let's say a circle, and then draw an axis line. Click on OK. So it will revolve around the axis line. So that is revolve. And for sweep, you need to have a path. So I'll draw an arc for the path. Okay, and then here you click on this plane. And then you'll be able to draw. Okay, you need to click on finish first, and then click on edit profile. Then you can draw the profile. Okay, then click on finish again. Then you get a sweep. For swept blend, it kind of combines these two, sweep and blend. Okay, so I go to create, swept blend, first draw the path. Maybe for I'll do another arc for the path. And as you can see, it gives us two profiles. So click on finish here first and select the first profile, edit profile. For the first profile, maybe I'll draw a circle. And then the second profile, I draw a rectangle. Then click finish editing. So it combines these two commands, sweep and blend. Okay. And then you have these void forms. You can create voids using the same method. Okay. So the function of this is to cut into an existing object. So let's say I created a void extrusion, click on finish, and then it will cut into an existing geometry. Okay, so that is model in place family. So you use it for mostly simple items that you have no intention of using it again in future. Okay, so I think that will be it for the three types of Revit families. So of course, this is a very broad subject. There's a lot more to it, especially the loadable family. There are different types of loadable family, but that will be in another topic. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can type in the chat and I will try to answer your questions. Okay, while doing that, I would like to bring you to our website, acadsystems.com. Okay, so this is our website. This is our homepage. You can scroll down our homepage to get to our latest promotions and news that we have. Okay, and then we also put in information of our free online lessons. Okay, so these are upcoming topics for our free online lesson. If you're interested, you can click on it and then click on going here to book your places. Then you will get an email as a reminder for you. And then as you scroll down, we also have our face-to-face training in our base here. And then I would like also to show you our Facebook page. You can go to our Facebook page, just click on this icon, and also to our YouTube channel. Just click on this YouTube logo. So it will bring you to our YouTube channel. So all of our webinars will be uploaded here. So if you would like to learn more on other topics, you can probably search it here in our YouTube channel. So we have been doing this for quite a while. So we have an extensive library of on various topics across various Autodesk softwares. Okay. So also on our website, if you have any questions, you can just chat with our live agents. Just click here. Okay, and then you can directly type in whatever questions that you might have. Okay. So since we have no questions, I think that will be it for today's session. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you in the future on on other topics. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.